Well, this week the Bush Foundation announced its 2020 Bush Fellows, a group of 24 community leaders selected from nearly 750 applicants. The fellows are each awarded $100,000 to pursue their passion for improving their communities. Two of the prestigious award winners are from northern Minnesota, and we'll hear from them tonight. First, Alan Lewis is the Fire and Emergency Manager in Virginia. And Alan, welcome. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Is pretty exciting for you, I imagine.
It is. It's exciting for me, and it's exciting for my department, and I'm excited for what it can bring to the Northland. It's an incredible opportunity.
For people who may not be familiar with the Bush Foundation, explain what the purpose of these fellowships are and how you got connected with the program.
So as I understand it, and I'm speaking from a position of a person who didn't know much about the Bush Foundation a year ago, I was part of a Blandin leadership cohort. And during that Blandin leadership cohort, one of my cohort members said, you know, you should apply for the Bush Foundation Fellowship. And I said, what's that? Well, they told me. So the Bush Foundation invests in leaders who have the potential to make a very big difference and an impact upon the communities that they serve. And they look at your past history, and then they look at potential impact and potential future and what you can do. And the issue that really stands out to me is the issue of the fractured emergency medical service and fire delivery in our region. So that's one that I chose to tackle through a number of there's a number of procedures that they go through.
So you're leading a consolidation of two area fire departments? Is that correct?
That is correct. At this time, it's the Mountain Iron, City of Mountain Iron and City of Virginia have jointly agreed to have taken a unanimous council vote, which how many times does a council do anything unanimously? But they have both voted to proceed with consolidation of both fire departments. When you look at the Iron Range, you have a very fractured, regionalized system of fire and emergency service delivery. Within a 5-mile radius, you have literally 5 different fire departments. And it is not efficient, it's not effective, and it's not timely in the delivery of fire EMS services. So city leaders have come together and they've realized that there is a more efficient way to do that, and that's together. Together we're stronger, together we collaborate better, together we have more resources, and that's what we're trying to do.
And there seems to be quite a bit of flexibility in terms of how the fellowship dollars are spent. Can you give some examples of maybe specific activities that this funding will allow you to do to help kind of move this whole mission forward?
Yeah, so one of the things that I think is very important is education. So I completed my master's recently, and now I actually teach at the university where I graduated from as an adjunct professor. So to me, education is very important, especially with fire and EMS. We need leaders who are educated, who are informed, who understand the issues. And I believe that I myself need more education, so that's one reason I've chosen to go to the Harvard Kennedy School of Government to pursue their Executive Certificate in Public Leadership. And that's a series of classes that focuses on collaboration, it focuses on consensus building, and it focuses on what senior executives in state and local governments do. So that educational component will be part of the Bush Foundation's grant or fellowship that I will pursue.
Now, I understand that one of the goals is to really forge some alliances between public, corporate, nonprofit leaders. How do you see all of those different sectors maybe coming together to support this consolidation and to really improve emergency services on the range?
So business and industry is a very large part of the Iron Range and especially the mining industry. But those that are in those business leadership position, the IRRR that has the funding from that sources that helps the funding, bringing together the different elements from the mining organizations, timber industries and such. Those industries all depend on fire and emergency services in order to assure that their workers are safe and to assure that our communities are well protected. They support this kind of consolidation and this collaboration together because they depend on emergency services, at the times when they need them. So they've been very supportive of efforts along these lines.
Are there any unique challenges for firefighters working in this area because of those heavy industries that you potentially have to deal with?
Yeah, so one of the things is the confined space rescue, which, the heavy industry presents some very, very interesting challenges when you're dealing with mine pits and when you're dealing with some of the very, very large equipment that you have there. And so along that lines, we've actually formed an urban search and rescue team, and that was done through a federal grant that we received in the amount of $734,000 that was received about 2 years ago. And one of our staff members, a battalion chief, really wrote that grant, and we've been able to formulate a team. We continue to build it. We continue to work with people from Duluth Fire and other Iron Range fire departments to try to build that team up. It's a specialized rescue team, and that would help some of these industries that get into there are some very specific hazards that they have that need to be addressed. So by bringing those industries together, and I'm a big believer in if you create the hazard, you should help pay for the mitigation of it. So that is one thing that we will be, as we build, that's a chance to have consensus and to build those relationships.
Is it difficult at all to attract firefighters on the range?
So it is not difficult to attract people who want to be. It's difficult. We have a very, very rigorous process. There's education levels that are required. There's background checks that are required. We send our people through a psychological assessment and a profile before they're hired. There's a number of things that you have to pass, so it isn't easy. But yeah, there is an interest, but it is very hard to find qualified people. We do have some real great partners in Mesabi Range College that has done a great job putting out paramedics for us, and we visit the classes every year and try to pick out the best ones out of that class to hire.
And I understand that as chief, you've also been very interested in increasing diversity on the department. How has that worked, and why is that important to you?
So that was very, very important for me. When I joined, there was only one female firefighter on the department. Now we are at 8 members that are females. And one of the reasons, or one of the ways that we did that, was we increased our diversity by having a single role EMT and a single role paramedic position. So not everybody needs to be a firefighter. We have single role EMTs and single role paramedics on the department because 86% of our calls are actually medical in nature. I know the fires get the news, but most of the time it's a medical call for why somebody calls for help. And having a consolidated service like that that allows for specialization, allowed for other underrepresented groups that maybe in the past were not able to do or not able to rise to those levels of firefighters. And then we've had a number transition from single role EMTs and paramedics into firefighting roles. We've had special coaching and mentoring that has allowed them. We have a very, very difficult candidate physical abilities test that they have to pass to go through that, and we've been able to successfully gain them employment in that role too. So very proud of that.
So when do you actually get the money? Is it in hand already?
No. I believe it's going to be in August sometime.
Well, congratulations. It sounds like a very worthy program and approach that you're going to be working on, and we appreciate you coming down and sharing some information about it.
Well, thank you, and thank you to the Bush Foundation. Thank you to the City of Virginia, the Virginia Fire Department, and everyone that supported me on this journey.
All right. Thank you so much.